Welcome back, everybody. And Dave and I have just coming off of another model show on the weekend. Dave went down to Pittsburgh. I'll let Dave talk about the great Pittsburgh show.
Yeah, it was great. The Tricon show down in Pittsburgh. The guys put on a great show, and it's always on the same weekend as the Hamilton show here, and just outside of Toronto here. So it was nice to do a kind of a a home and home series, as it were, with some of our U.S. friends. It was
because you drove from Pittsburgh on Saturday night down to the Hamilton show.
Yeah, it was a bit of it was a long day Saturday. We got up early, drove to Pittsburgh in the morning, got there for about 10 o'clock. Hit a local store, hit the show, and then came back with a bunch of the guys and stopped in Buffalo. We spent the night there and had a nice dinner with down in the old Navy district down in Buffalo. Actually,
it's a great area there.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I'd never the first time I'd been there, so that was a great time. And then did the Heritage Con on Sunday. So
that show might have pushed around 800 models. I mean, it was
it
might not have gotten quite to 800.
No, but it was certainly the biggest showing that I've seen, and I think the Pittsburgh show is it's a local show, but I think Heritage Con is it's the size of a good regional. I think.
Yeah,
right? It's approaching that in terms of the number of vendors, the number of tables that they had, the models, the quality of the work. The venue. You can't beat the Heritage War Museum there. So
and then in amongst all the models, of course, then you take 30 seconds to look into the horizon, and there's this beautiful Lancaster sitting there.
Yeah, you can't.
That actually flies.
Yeah. So, and it's hard. It's hard for us local guys because we kind of almost take that for granted because it's in our backyard. But it's a fantastic venue.
I think it's a show to our viewers that if they're ever in our sort of neighborhood of Southern Ontario around the end of March, to certainly think about Heritage for upcoming shows.
Because it's one of the great ones in the area. There's no question. And and it's great that a lot of the Pittsburgh guys come up and partake,
and the Michigan guys too.
Yeah, we had Ian and John down from Livonia come up, and they brought a few friends, and
Tim and Jeff and Chris.
It's
awesome.
It's definitely growing. So
and that brings up another show coming up. Now this show ran for about 30 years, but then I think just the crew needed a rest, and it took about a 5-year break, which is totally understandable. But Torcan is I think this is the 3rd year back after about a 5-year
that's right.
rest.
It's already 3 years now.
Yeah, so that's coming up May 26th here in Toronto, and Dave, the theme award, and this was great about model shows. Most of them have the theme awards, and you're thinking about doing something for the 70th anniversary of the Israeli Defense Force.
Yeah. I think I had that AMX 13 that the TACOM kit that it was boxed, but I think I've already started cutting plastic on that, so it's only 8 weeks from the show now, but I think I should be able to get it done. I'll definitely do my best to have it ready for the show without
and I know
mucking it up.
How you paint, how I paint now, and Mike Rinaldi. I mean, we sort of need at least 3 to 4 weeks just for the painting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's what took me most of the time on this thing was the finishing, the painting, right? So
yeah, I mean it's great. I mean, like when you do a Brumbar, I mean the canvas is all there with that steel plating that's say not on a small like you won't have that luxury when you're doing your AMX 13, but it's great how you've got the canvas there, but you still but it's 3 weeks of just pure joy when it comes to the paint.
That's my favorite. I always tell everybody that I'm a finisher, not a builder, right? So I get more joy to doing the painting and the weathering and whatnot than I do any of the building. So hopefully for the Torcan show we'll get the same type of turnout from our U.S. friends, and the guys from Livonia will show up, and we'll have John Benani and Barry Numerick and Bill Deddick come up and attend the show as well. And just a big thank you to the Tricon guys. They put on a great show on Saturday. So thanks for hosting Harvey and I there. Really had a lot of fun. So
and now let's back up a little bit to the Sherman in Normandy that we did.
Yes.
In the early videos, it's been great because guys, it's fun because they recognize you walking around a show or myself, and that's been fun because of the YouTube thing. But also too, we have guys now that are digging up that old Sherman and, you know, putting it together. I have a local guy, John, who's not only put the Sherman together, he's also done the exact groundwork.
Yeah, like and the weathering and all the techniques, and it's it looks amazing.
He comes and he's just so focused on learning, and like I haven't seen John's models before, but the odd Saturday when he brings them in, boy, is he advanced.
Yeah.
So I mean, it won't be long before he's bringing his models to these shows.
Absolutely, he's done a great job in terms of, you know, kind of replicating what we were able to do here on the show. And to me, you know, I mean, that's the sincerest form of flattery. I think that's great, and I think that, you know, people that you know, maulers that get published and whatnot, when you have somebody else try and emulate what they did and repeat what they did, they see something in a book or a video or a magazine, what have you, and they say, "Oh, it looks awesome. I want to do the same thing." To me, that's the highest form of flattery. You should be thrilled if somebody's doing that with one of your kits. And you know, John's doing some great work there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little DNA of his model, or your model in his, and a little bit of my groundwork in his, and you know, which brings up, you know, back to what you said. I mean, I have this poster here from a long time ago from Shep, and I mean, there's our Brumbar rumbling through all the.
There's the inspiration.
There's the inspiration, and this was built probably in '73 or something. But of course, we all cut our teeth. We saw Sheps, and we all went out and brought the Brumbar.
Yeah.
And we all tried to do this. You know.
Exactly.
I don't know. There wasn't a lot of shows around in 1973 or '74, but certainly in your own basements or your own little hobby rooms at home, everybody was trying to build things like Shep was doing here. I mean, if it wasn't for those pamphlets that came in those monogram kits, maybe none of us would have, you know, cooked with gas, you know. But those little pamphlets that came in all those monogram kits were certainly an inspiration to all of us. So
absolutely.
I don't think copying them or doing anything there's no harm done in doing that.
No,
you know. I mean, to me, it makes, you know, 50,000 of one kit for a reason. Let everybody build it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what the hobby should be all about, right? Just encouraging others, and that's hopefully we're able to do a little bit of that here on with these videos. So
yeah. So thanks so much for watching, and I'm going to turn it over to Dave now. He's going to talk about the steel plates and the things that he's added to our little vignette here, and then I'm going to speak to you momentarily about some more groundwork and painting the sidewalk and what have you. So, pleasure, Dave, and thanks so much for coming. And
my pleasure.
I'll let you carry on with it.
All right, sounds good. Keep up the good work, John.